Hello YouTube, I'm about to make an important rant video and this is something that I feel like my viewers need to hear about. It's about Brandon Schwab. I don't know how to pronounce his last name, but this is a so-called performer, MMA fighter. He happens to be an American podcast host. He happens to be in his late 30s, 38 if I presume, and who also is a stand-up comedian, which when I'm judging by from what I've been getting, the comments I've been getting, that apparently he's really not that like legit. He's not really a funny dude. He doesn't understand comedy whatsoever. People only like him because he's popular. That's it. But let me get into the let me get straight to the point. So this dude here can be, although he may seem harmless in the photo, but the thing is that he can be an issue for my channel and other small channels because you guys, I enjoy making videos for you guys, whether it's rants, edits, Yu-Gi-Oh, anime, and this is what I'm about to talk about is very important. So this man is trying to destroy fair use. So what I mean by fair use, people actually react to clips or who make skits out of these edits with anime or clips from other videos. But this guy is a complete hypocrite. The reason why he's even doing this is mainly because there were smaller YouTubers who've been who've been reacting to him, making jokes about him. But yeah, this dude here is a stand-up comedian, but like you would think you'd understand that suppose if you're making jokes like for your suspense, that expect people to make jokes about you, because if you're doing stand-up, let's get straight to the point. You're most likely going to end up making jokes about other people too. So why is it wrong if someone does it to him? One, because he feels he's the bigger, better influencer, and that no one can judge him or react to him. So by saying that you plan to destroy fair use, is that you're saying that people should not be given the opportunity to make the videos the way they want to, as long as it's not like full outright copyright. Because honestly, he's only doing this because of his again, trust me right now, he's only doing it because of his own personal feelings, and he will, because I guarantee you he will lose the case. From what I understand is that he actually was planning to sue the smaller YouTuber and hope to have his video taken down and to owe him money on top of it. And like honestly, I'm trying to figure this guy out. I really don't see why he would be offended, especially if it's protected. As long as it's not because I'm sure he was offended considering it's supposed to be a joke. There's no reason to be offended as long as the person is not harassing you, threatening you, or stalking you. Then there could be a reason to file a complaint. But this dude's a complete joke. Honestly, I don't think he deserves the honor of being a stand-up comedian. He doesn't. I don't even find him funny actually, especially what he's doing right now. When I do content, when I do content with, especially when it comes to humor, I don't even try too hard. I think that's the issue with people who, especially when you look at these influencers. I don't know how many people like him, but I can tell you now, a lot of these people who look up to someone like him, or these big influencers who are not even really funny, who do other stuff, because these are people who are not meant for comedy. Only reason people laugh at them because they have a big name, because they're very popular. And a lot of it is because they more often or not they see them doing other kinds of content, whether it's gaming, they hear their voice talking. Like, I'll give a prime example, PewDiePie. He's dying down, and maybe in the beginning he was really funny, maybe because he was like he was unsuspecting, kind of didn't, he was still new at the time, he was still fresh, he was young. So his comedy, his jokes have pretty much died down because he's all that matters to him. He's just focusing on his video games, and because he's become very obnoxious, he's become conceited, because all that matters to him, he doesn't care what people think. It's more about, oh, I want to make money by simply playing video games, because that's the easy life for me, and I've been the most successful at it, and I've been on top of pretty much the majority of people, because this is what counts, the video games rather than the jokes. But like the point is, like, if you want to do good humor, I personally believe you have to try You have to try not to do so hard. You have to try not to be so hard. You have to try. You have to not try as hard to make really weird jokes. Just let it come your way. Just say whatever how you feel, as long as it makes sense, so people can understand what you're talking about. But that's what it comes down to when you're trying to do comedy. Is that when you do comedy, I personally feel like how it works for me, how it works out for me personally. I try not too hard, honestly. I just let it go with not like having a nonchalant face and seem act serious at the same time, because being loud, obnoxious, and edgy just makes it all the boring and most cringiest type of like response ever. It's just the most cringiest response ever. Like from me, we don't want to hear a guy react that way. It's a really pathetic reaction, if anything, because it depends. Also what matters what you say and how you say it. But if you're just doing like for me, even though I say stupid stuff, but at least I'm doing skits, as I'm trying to make it like seem like something in a scenario like where idiots, where they if they do interact with each other, how they will respond and react when confronted by another person, or if they feel uncomfortable, or they are simply feel entitled, or when they don't get their ways, they will respond very ignorantly and make themselves the bigger fool than they already are. And I'm not saying I am that person, but it's for those people who I strongly see being in that situation, how I look at it, my perspective. But besides that, like this dude, honestly, he has no right to tell people whether they should stop making. This is why I personally have a grudge against. I have a grudge against people who tell people how to run their content, how to do the content, as long as it does not break any rules, as long, like I said, as long as it has fair use. Like I said, fair use, I personally don't think it's even a big deal, because there you need to think of it this way: there are people who like certain content, who like certain shows, who like certain people, who like certain clips, and they want people to react to it. Because imagine the videos that I do now, people have been suggesting them to me, so I can either give my opinion or do a reaction. So it's not like people just automatically, like hosts like me, to automatically decide, you know, we're gonna make a video right now. I personally take the time to think about it before I decide I'm gonna do a video on a certain topic, because people are suggesting it to me. I am getting a lot of recommendations because, you know what, they want to hear how I feel about it, and plus they want to have a reaction to it. And that's where they respond, and then they try to correct me, and I'm not always going to be in the right all the time. But sometimes you have to understand that there are some cases where I misinterpret what I say, or I kind of get lost and confused because I don't keep track of every word that comes out of my mouth. And again, I only feel like the only time he would be justified of actually suing somebody, unless it happens to be slander and defamation, unless someone is making like false like calls, or they're making giving false information of this guy's character, of who he is in person, or they just don't know him personally. Again, then that would be a reason for him to sue, because I'm 100% against slander defamation. That would be a reason to sue rather than fair use. Because to me, that's just stupid. You know you know what that says? He's a very sensitive man. He still hasn't fully matured. He doesn't. And it'd be funny if he does do a video response. If he does try to come to my video and flag this video or send me a comment, that would make my day, because he's gonna prove my point. If he does so, that just proves that I was right and he was wrong, and that means he can't. Because if you're a big influencer, sometimes you gotta keep your feelings out of this. Sometimes you gotta be smart. You usually expect a big influencer, someone who's very popular, not to really care what other people say about them, especially if it's on the internet, because those remarks honestly should have no effect on you. I think it's more like, oh, maybe in the future people are gonna break down and put him down constantly, not even constantly, but maybe it's gonna encourage that behavior. It's gonna encourage people to criticize them even more. But the thing is, if people do criticize, you just keep going with your content. That's what that's my idea. That's how I handle being criticized. That's how I handle insults. That's how I handle pressure. Is I ensure that if I want to get through this, I just keep doing whatever is necessary that applies to my content. I just keep providing videos, try to satisfy my viewers, and then give my thoughts, and to say that I'm this kind of person that doesn't go down too easily, and I'm that kind of person. But clearly he just fell hard. Honestly, he broke down for sure, because you know what this is, that he can't. If he doesn't deserve that spot, being popular. He doesn't deserve to be an influencer, because the whole point, like I'm telling everybody right now, to be an influencer, you have to handle criticism, because you may not realize, some people don't realize, the haters are actually providing for you. They're actually helping you become bigger than you already are right now. If it weren't for the haters, if you need to realize this for sure, is if it weren't for the haters, you wouldn't be in the position you already are right now, because they're actually people. Sometimes you need haters, and you need people that support you. You need the haters and supporters, because they help build your content. Without the haters, you probably won't go as you are right now, because people may. So the point I'm trying to say is, when the haters bring you up with other audience members, other views, other users, they may decide, actually, I have my own opinion. I either might support him, or I might agree with the opposer. But at the same time, sometimes that person has a change of heart. They have a change of mind. They decide, you know what? This guy may hate him. He may dislike him, but doesn't mean I have to agree with him. I may choose to support this guy, because I want to take this opportunity. I want to give him a chance to see what he's all about. Just by looking at the content that he does, and his hobbies, and his personality. Because that's what counts the most. Even if you do have haters, sometimes those haters will help you rise, because some people don't take the negativity and make it into positivity, because that's part of growth, is that sometimes you need criticism to help you build up from where you are right now, to extend even further. And again, and my final thoughts is that if he if he if whether this case does go down, I personally think he's gonna lose, because it was a pointless one, and it's under, clearly it's under fair use. And then you have to also think at the same time the number of people who support fair use. So there are going to be people who vote for, so there are going to be a lot of people who vote for fair use, more than people who are against it. So the odds are definitely stacked against him. So that's what he needs to think about, because people who support fair use are most likely going to be the majority, and the people who are against it are going to be like the minority. And for him, pretty bad decision. And once it goes down, if he does lose the case, that pretty much puts him downhill from there, because all he had to do was keep it simple, understand that it's not a big deal, and then just move forward. And that probably could have made his life easier. And at the same time, it shouldn't have been a big deal, because at the end of the day, people are going to make videos and reactions. They are going to use fair use, because there are more viewers, there are more audience members that want to see from that person doing those clips, because it's what makes it interesting and different from other videos. Because people try too hard, they become really extra doing all these edits, and then mainly they're usually edgy, or they're out of touch. They're out of touch from reality, or a lot of times they're too loud and obnoxious. And I could mention those other YouTubes, those other influencers, but at the same time I won't, because I'm pretty sure you just look them up and you pretty much know what I'm talking about. And so again, I hope you guys enjoyed the video. Be sure to check for more further upcoming content later in the future. Be sure to check your notifications, comment, like, subscribe. Thank you.